Hello everybody, so my name is Rawley Patterson, and I would like to start everybody off today by thinking, when you're walking around campus and you see a plastic bag or a plastic water bottle or a can or any other trash like that, and you think, well, what can one piece of trash in the environment actually do? Well, I'm here today to talk to how we can reduce that. So I would like to share with everybody some waste conservation techniques that we as college students can do to keep our campus clean, our country, our world cleaner and healthier. So I would like to start off with different levels of which conservation techniques can be. So we don't just jump into the most hardest one to do and people are intimidated and they just decide they don't want to do it because that's way too drastic in their lifestyle. So the easiest level to do would be to use reusable household items like cups and plates and Tupperwares, things like that. And then the second level would be to recycle more often and to know exactly what is recyclable in your local community and things like that. And the last and the most drastic one would be changing how you shop for groceries by going to a zero waste grocery store. So, for the first one, the Georgia Environmental Protection Division talks about how trash left out into the environment in Georgia actually has a big impact on local wildlife because it causes local wildlife to eat the trash and have dietary issues from it, and they can even die from the trash, or the trash can impact their habitat so much to where they would have to relocate, and then they're put into a new environment that they have no idea where where their normal food sources are or their normal water supply comes from, so it could harm them that way as well. And also, that agency talks about how as a state, when we do have a cleaner state, we have higher morale and better productivity within our state. So that is a big influence as well. For reusable items, people like to laugh and make jokes about people with Hydro Flask now because of TikTok, but people who actually use Hydro Flask daily, the earthday.org website actually talks about how people who have a reusable water bottle can actually save up from 160 plastic water bottles from being used and thrown out into the environment. And from that number, the people can save $266 per person per year by not buying these plastic water bottles and by only using the same reusable water bottle, which they only have to spend once to get the water bottle, and then that's it, and they don't ever have to buy any other plastic water bottles or anything like that. And they're saving so much money, which we as college students could use a lot to help pay off tuitions or books or subscription websites and things like that. Now, for the second level would be recycling. The livingcoast.org talks about how 55% of all trash is put into landfills and 33% of trash is actually recycled, which is a huge number already. And then 12.5% is put directly into incinerators and released into the atmosphere. Now, they also state how 70% of the 55% of all trash that is put into landfills can actually be recycled and reused. So things that are put into the landfills can actually be lessened because we can recycle those items. Now, landfills are harmful because they're one of the biggest producers of methane gas, which is a big greenhouse gas that causes a lot of global warming and rising temperatures and things like that. And they actually disrupt habitats a lot because it takes a whole lot of area to create these landfills, and it relocates all these different animals to new places that can be harmful. And for things that can actually be recycled in UGA and in many places are glass, paper, cardboard, metal, and plastics. And you can pretty much recycle those things everywhere on the campus, because next to every single trash can on campus, or next to almost every single trash can on campus, there is a recycle bin. And especially on game days, they have these recycle bins around walkways, so there's never an excuse to choose to throw something away when you can recycle it, or just to throw it out on the ground when there is some kind of recycle bin or trash can around that you can be using. And it actually helps the environment a whole lot when you choose to do that. And if you have more complicated recyclable products like batteries or furniture or books, the UGA website actually has locations and other things like that to help you find out how you can recycle those items on campus. Now, for the last and probably the most drastic change or conservation technique that you can use is a zero waste grocery store. Now, Believe.Earth, a environmental friendly website, they talk about how those grocery stores don't sell anything that's packaged in plastic, and they sell in bulk. They donate all their food before it expires to local pantries, and they source almost all their food and supplies from local farmers and things like that, so all your food is fresh and local. Now, these places, you can bring your own bag, kind of like how Aldi does, or they even have these paper bags that you can put your items into and take home, and then you can recycle those paper bags. Now, you're probably thinking, where is a zero waste grocery store around Athens? There's actually one off of Prince Avenue down the road from the Classic Center, which is in downtown Athens, and it's probably closer than a Publix or the Kroger or the Target that's in Athens, and it's easier for us to get to, and it actually helps the environment a whole lot, because these zero waste grocery stores don't allow people to produce food waste, which is where most of our trash comes from. So it helps lower the trash that's put out into the environment, into water, and into landfills, which helps lower greenhouse gases and helps keep animals healthier and our environment cleaner. Now, those are all of the techniques that I have for you, so I hope you choose to implement some of them into your daily lives, and by using one or all or some of them, you're helping keeping the earth cleaner and healthier and helping our lives, because there are less greenhouse gases being produced and we have better living conditions for the present and even for the future. Now, I hope that this speech makes you want to live a better waste-free life by changing just small aspects in your life, that they don't even have to be that drastic. Thank you.